South Carolina just beat Iowa for the NCAA women's national title. Oh, we got some things to talk about, and we definitely gonna talk about it. And if you're looking for, a whole bunch of stats and who did this year, or they sophomore year, they freshman year, all that extra stuff, this probably ain't the show for you. We a little bit unethical over here, right? So I just had some things that I wanted to talk about and some things I wanted to get off my chest concerning, you know, South Carolina and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, right? Now, as we all know, last year, Angel Reese and LSU um, beat Iowa and Caitlin Clark for the national title. So this year, it was a whole lot of talking, right? So when Iowa just faced LSU in the Elite Eight, and Caitlin and Iowa won. There's a lot of people talking a lot of mess, like, yeah, she got revenge on LSU, or yeah, she got revenge on Angel Reese. And the whole time I was thinking, how? I mean, yeah, you did beat LSU, but Angel Reese is still a champion. Angel Reese still has a ring, something that Caitlin Clark was unable to do. So when people were saying all these things about, yeah, you got your revenge, I'm like, how is that necessarily revenge when LSU beat Iowa, it was for the actual national title. When Iowa beat LSU, it was to go to the Final Four. Now, Caitlin is a great player. Definitely one of the greatest players. Some people call her the GOAT. To play in women's college basketball. But as I said when they beat LSU, I said Caitlin Clark got to get the job done. Beating LSU and Angel Reese is not the championship. Although that's how they acted, as if, everybody was acting as if Caitlin Clark beating LSU and Angel Reese was like their championship game. I'm like, no, she still got works to do. She still got to go to the Final Four. She got to win that, which was one of the most horrible games. Why would you call that foul at the end of the game? On to go to the finals, you gonna call that foul to go to the finals? Absolutely not. But I don't like games to end by the referee like that. I would have at least had liked for them to get a shot up just to see in the Final Four. But hey, Iowa wins the Final Four. They go to the national title game against South Carolina. Now, this is the interesting part. As much as Iowa wanted to get revenge on LSU for beating them in the national title game last year, South Carolina wanted revenge on Iowa for beating them in the Final Four last year. So it's like, it's a whole bunch of revenge and get back going on this year. And South Carolina did not come to play. Oh, they didn't come to play at all. South Carolina was undefeated. And the interesting thing about it is the last time that South Carolina lost was when they lost last year in the Final Four to Iowa and Caitlin Clark. And they have not lost since. So South Carolina just got done beating Iowa 87-75. I said Caitlin Clark got to get the job done. She did not get the job done. It's hard for me to call you when we're talking about the game of basketball. Football's a little different. But when we're talking about the game of basketball, I just can't call you one of the greats if you was unable to get it done. Basketball is a sport where one player can literally transform the whole team and literally get you to the finals, get you a championship. And she was unable to do that. Is she a great player, Caitlin Clark? Absolutely. But she still was not able to get the job done. she wasn't able to bring home the hardware. Now she is going to go to the WNBA, and chances are she is going to be the number one pick, and chances are she's probably going to have a great WNBA career. But this talk that's been going back and forth, especially since they beat LSU, and let's keep it real. A lot of stuff that Angel Reese was getting vilified for, Caitlin Clark was getting praised for. Like, I remember last year, Caitlin Clark, when she was whooping everybody, she was doing the whole ring thing, like, she was doing all that. And everybody thought it was cool and it was nice and it was trash talk. But once Angel Reese did that to her, because she was actually about to get a ring, so I guess that was a more appropriate time to do something like that. It was a big problem for everybody, and people thought it was in bad taste. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Now that Angel Reese is doing it, it's in bad taste. Caitlin Clark was doing it. It was such a wonderful gesture, and she's so competitive. So people see these type of things, and they see what's going on with certain individuals, whether if they like to admit it or not. But South Carolina, I didn't think South Carolina was gonna lose. I think that who had the MVP? Camilla um Cardoso. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Camilla, let's just stick with that. But she had the MVP. Some people thought that Tessa Johnson should have got MVP because she came off the bench with 19 points. But Camilla had, I believe, 17. I think she had like 15 points and 17 rebounds or something like that. I think it was 15 points, 17 rebounds. South Carolina got a lot of second chance opportunities. They got a lot of second chance points. And on top of that, Iowa bench scored 0. 0. You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you are a team and your bench scores 0. You need your bench to help you, regardless if they help you a little bit, because they lost by 8 points. So I mean, not 8 points. They lost by 12 points. But if they bench would have been able to contribute at all, maybe they would have had a better chance of winning. Caitlin Clark had 30 points. She didn't necessarily have a good shooting night. I think she was like 10 for 18 or 10 for 28 or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. But she did have 30 points. So Caitlin Clark definitely showed up to play. I mean, she didn't shrink in the moment and, scored 3 points, 4 points. Now, she put up 30 points, so she was doing her part. It's just that, her team wasn't able to contribute as much as they wanted to. And Caitlin Clark wasn't able to transcend and put Iowa on her back and wheel her team to victory. It happens. Everybody can't be Kobe or Jordan or Steph Curry or LeBron James. Everybody can't do that. So, but she's gonna have a promising career. Her and Angel Reese is going to the WNBA, and they are saying that Caitlin Clark is actually going to be the person to get the WNBA on the right track. And when I say the right track, I mean to a place where people actually care about the WNBA. From my understanding, the WNBA makes no money. They in the red all the time, and if it wasn't for the NBA funding them, they would have went out of business a long time ago. So they are hoping that like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese can like rejuvenate the sport, get people talking about it, and get people paying attention. Because I mean, there's some very talented women in women's basketball, whether if it be college or the professional level. So it's gonna be interesting. But I know Ice Cube offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to go over there to the Big Three. Now, from my understanding, she's not going to be making close to that in the WNBA, but she probably will make up for it in endorsements and everything. So will she go to the Big Three for the 5 million? I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think the NBA will let that happen. They'll probably pay her up under the table before they just let her go anywhere else besides the WNBA. But y'all go ahead, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about this game. Do you think Caitlin Clark is the GOAT? Do you think she's going to have a great WNBA career? Do you think this is going to be like Magic versus Bird, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese once they get to the next level? Who you think will have the better career when it's all said and done? Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark? Y'all let me know. The facts remains the same. There's no game but tie game.